Well, hello there again, friends and family. And you might see we're back out in the focus. But we're not going very far today. Where are we going? Well, we're going up to Superfoods. But it's not for what you think. It's not to do any grocery shopping. It's because old Mr. Tom is running way late to do any gardening at all. And as you know, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot this year. So I thought I'd run up here to Superfoods and see if they had any decent looking plant starts that maybe I could get a little bit of a jump start back on the gardening season. So let's all jump out of the car, take a look at what they got, see what we can grab. So starting next week, we can go ahead and get something in the ground. They're not going to be much though, okay? So come on, let's go check it out. Well, as luck would have it, we do have some plant starts still left. We got okra. Oh, down here we got some yellow squash, heirloom. I can see eggplants there. I'm not in the market for them. Let's see here. They got some giant marconis. Now, I planted those before. And they make a great Italian stuffing pepper. Straight neck heirloom squash. Sweet potato slips here. Yep. It's gonna be pricey though, because I waited too late. Got some Cajun bells, and all these are $2.45 to $2.50. Jalapenos, Thai hot peppers, more squash, hot bananas, $4.05 for some big Bonnie green bells, or yellow bell sweet peppers. Got the Park Whopper improved tomatoes, big boy hybrid, bush Goliath, and got the Rutgers. A lot of hot banana peppers. I prefer the sweet one. I planned these Goliath. They've never done a whole lot. Got Early Girl, Romas, Better Boy, Super Sweet 100s, Celebrity. I normally plant me some celebrities. And I planted the patios before. They've done pretty good. They got a wide variety of tomato plants. So I'm going to have to make a decision. Down in the comments, you can put what you're going to do. I don't need much. One of my favorites, of course, is the lunchbox peppers. They're just perfect for snacking on. So we're gonna get one of them. And let's see. I planted it before. I'm gonna try this better bush again. German Queen, never actually heard of that one. I just don't need many. You know what? Sometimes you just can't make a good decision. But I think this year, I always do bell peppers. It's been a while since I've done a Marconi. And I love them. They're excellent stuffing peppers. Or you can cut them up like you can for salads, or you can put them on pizza. So, I'm gonna get me some of them too. Okay? I'm gonna pick me out another better bush. We'll give those a try. Maybe a mistake, since we haven't done it in years. Now I need a cherry tomato. It does appear all the cherries are in bigger pots. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Super Sweet 100 hybrid cherry tomato. That one's looking pretty good. Plenty of roots. Let's go with it. So I got a couple of peppers. Got me 3 tomato plants. You know, I don't need much. Every year I plant way darn too much. The rest I can get by still sticking some seed in. Of course, I would cheat if they had some old cucumbers. But I don't see them. Now, the last time I bought squash here, I had more squash than I could shake a proverbial bat at. And it was only one plant. And that plant went all the way from the end of May, or about mid-May when I planted it, I think up into October. I know it was near the end of September, maybe into October. But I just ain't feeling it on these. But there's 3 nice ones all in one pot. And that's another thing. If you're gonna buy these and pay that price, try to get the doubles or the triples. That way you can separate them if you want to. So we're gonna go with these 3 little jewels. So we got some squash, some tomatoes, and some peppers. Let's see if there's anything else we truly need. I'm thinking not. Now I know y'all are probably gonna put down in the comments, I should have got this, should have got that. Oh well. Like I say, I don't want to make gardening into a chore this year. I really don't. I'm thinking that's about it. Well, just because I got a good buddy down there in Louisiana, I think I'll get me some of these here Cajun bell, spicy bell peppers. Hey, there you go. Maybe that's got a little heat. Along with it's a bell. So I sort of kind of have a hot pepper and a bell pepper together. That's something we've never grown. Let's do that. So now all they got to do is go in and pay for them. So let me run in and do that and get them on to the house. And then we'll chat some on the front porch. Okay? Well, y'all, you can see we're back at the old home place. We got those plants unloaded. And we went ahead and ran in on the inside and picked up a few groceries. Not much, you know, loaf of bread, other things. And we did check on a couple things since we had to go on in there. But let me show you who's here, because I know many of y'all have asked, okay? And then we're going to talk about a few things, okay? Cleo! Cleo! Yes, that's my Cleo. They've been worried about you. They said they hadn't seen you in a while. Come here. We'll give you some treats. You want some more treats? Here's your some more. Yep, that's Cleo. Like I told you. She still comes around. She's a neighborhood moocher, though. If I'm not out here, she's not. She's somewhere. Now, as you can see, she's loving them treats. A little bit too much. Because she tends to eat too fast and get all choked up. But yep, she's a happy kitty. And I'll put plenty down here for her. Because I know she ain't got none in a while. So there you go, baby. You have some treats. I wasn't worried about you. I know you still love Papa, don't you? Papa's got the treats. Well, and I have way more of them. Because many of you send them to him. And Cleo, Speedy, Spooky, sometimes Elrod and Magoo, and Trixie and Gracie. Love y'all for it. Can't thank y'all enough. So, just wanted to make sure, since we're out here, had the treats, and Cleo come running up as soon as she saw me. I wanted to show her to you. So as you know, we made a run to superfoods. And we didn't make a run for food, as y'all saw. We made a run for plants, because old Mr. Tom's about, at the very least, 7 weeks late on getting anything in the ground so he can have some fresh stuff. Now it's way too late for lettuce, radishes, and such. This past week we were in the low to mid 90s. And I already know from past experience, putting lettuce in, putting radishes in, it wouldn't be no time. They would sprout and they'd bolt too. And once they bolt, the lettuce as well as the radish leaves get bitter. And the radish bulbs get really spicy. They get a bite going on. So we missed that opportunity, but that's okay. And since our little seedlings, and we did have some tomatoes started, and we did have some peppers started, I started them in the south side driveway garden bed. Not much. I think I had 4 tomatoes started, maybe 6, 4 peppers. And that hail we got going on nearly 4 weeks ago, the dime size, marble size hail, we had so much of it, it just beat them slap to the ground. It destroyed them. So, they're gone. My bad. And if I'm gonna get anything out, I had to do something. My only alternative is hope and pray, superfoods, or Ace, or our True Value hardware, or if we just really had to, Walmart still had plant starts. But as you can see, we went to superfoods. I won't go to Walmart unless I absolutely have to. That's just me. You do what you want to do. I'd rather pay a little more and buy a little less than go give Walmart my money. That's just me. And that's just what I do. What I tell you is what I live by. But you saw what we got. We didn't get a whole lot. And just to recap here, I wrote it down here on an envelope. Don't know if y'all do that, but some of us old folks do. We don't waste paper. We just use and save old envelopes that bills come into. So we got one of them lunchbox peppers, and I featured lunchbox pepper in 2018, I know, or at least 2019, 2020. They're not a very big pepper. They're about 2.5 inches long. They're a snacking pepper, and but they're still great. Cut them on up and throw them in salads. Oh my God, or roasting them. But they're like 2 bites, and they're done. We got us 2 of those better bush tomatoes. and they're determinate. They're a bush variety, and they're the bush variety of the better boy. And over my lifetime, I can remember planting better boys with my daddy, and I planted them many a year off and on. Not so much the bush as the indeterminate, which there's both types, and they've always done well. Now they're not going to produce that big slicing tomato, where one slice is going to make a tomato sandwich. No, it's a medium-sized tomato. But I'm smart enough to know I can cut those tomatoes up, fit them on a piece of bread, and still have a tomato sandwich. I got skills. So we got 2 of them. We'll see how they do. We got us one of those Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, or what I thought was a Sweet 100. That's what the tag said on the flat. But when I got home and I was putting them up in their place where they'll sit till we pop them in the ground next week, which I'm thinking is Tuesday, I looked at the tag that was in the pot, and it said yellow pear. So I don't know. Is the tag wrong that's in the pot, or was the tag wrong on the flat? But no fear, if they're yellow pear, I'm fine with that too. They'll still be tasty. And then we did pick up some straight yellow squash, heirloom, and there were 3 plants in there. And I may separate them, I might not. In the past, I haven't, and they've all done just fine. But I could. And then we got a Cajun bell pepper. You know why? As soon as I seen Cajun, it reminded me of old Regan Southern Boy pepper down in Louisiana. Plus, I never grew it. Secondly, it's spicy. And I thought, well, I like bell peppers. Never grown or had a spicy one. Maybe it'll be really tasty. The best of both worlds. So we're going to give it a whirl, and you'll see it right here. And like I said, if they'd have had some cucumber plants, I'd have picked up a little old pot of that. Now each one of those little old pots, which they were in 4-inch Bonnie pots, were $2.45 a piece. That's pricey. I already know I could have been way cheaper and done it by seed, but I didn't get around to it, and the ones I did died from the hail. So it's my only alternative, unless I want to wait and start something off in August for my fall garden. One thing I want to say down here in the Deep South, it's May the 30th, and then in tomorrow, Memorial Day. I hope y'all remember that, and I hope you remember the fallen and those that gave all they had to give, like I'll be doing. And that, we got Spooky showing up. Spook, what's going on, man? Spooky, you want some treats? Come here, Spook. We'll give you some. We'll give Cleo some. So, Spooky showed up. You know Spooky gonna show up when he hears me out. And back behind me is Speedy. Maybe you can hear her. She's just crying. So, we gave Speedy the rest of the bag behind me. So there, you got a treat. You got to see Cleo, Spooky, and you got to hear Speedy. Might be able to see her behind me. So that's 3 of the 5 of the kitty crew. And Lord knows if we sit out here and run our mouth more, Elrod and Magoo might show up. You just never know. So, I still want some cucumbers. Well, I'll start them from seed. Yep, they'll be way late, but You know, I've grown them all the way from June all the way up into November. And that's another, I got plenty of time. Down here, most years, and I've been especially diligent to write dates down over the last 3 years, 2018, 2019, 2020. Our last frost date comes sometime first or in the second week of December. Now think about that. I got all June, July, August, September, October. Right there's 5 months. November, 6 months. And a week or two in December. And I know where most of y'all live, or not most, but some of y'all, you don't even have that much growing season in your area, let alone what I got left. Now, granted, I'll be growing through the heat of the summer. Is that ideal? Nope. I'm gonna have to do like I've complained and whined about in past garden videos over the last couple of years. I'm gonna have to water in the morning, most likely water in the afternoon, every day, every day, every day. That's just the way it is. And if you're not willing to do that, especially this far south, then just buy it at the store. Now you might wonder, well, are you going to have any okra, Tom? Or are you going to have some beans? Well, the beans will go in by seed. That'll happen next week too. You know, my rattlesnake Kentucky Wonder cross pole beans will be going in. Not a whole lot. Why? Don't need a whole lot. I still got beans in quart bags in the freezer from 2020. Okra. If I do some okra, I'll just do a few plants just so when I'm out here working on the property, working in the gardens, I'll do something I like to do. I pick them when they're about 2.5, 3 inches and munch on them right there. I mean, right there, fresh out of the garden. I love it. Y'all may not. You might say, oh, they just too much of that there slime. Well, if you get them young enough, they haven't developed all that slime yet. And if you really want to know when they do get about right, 4 to 5 inches, how to bring them in the house fresh, cut them up, fry them up where they ain't all slimy inside, I have a technique to do that, which will give you the crispiest and crunchiest and non-slime free okra you ever ate in your entire life. Trust me on that. Cleo, you gonna eat every one, aren't you? Spook, you already ate yours and you know better than come up here and try to get Cleo's, right? Yep. There's Speedy about to take off. You might have caught her. As you can see, unlike Spooky, Speedy's, she's sort of like my son and daughter. She ain't much on the camera. You know, Spooky, like Magoo and Elrod, he's a camera hog too. Cleo, who's graced us with her presence today. Thank you, Cleo. Is not so much either. But as all of y'all have seen in my walkabouts, Spooky's always there as soon as he hears my voice. I ain't never had a dog that was hardly that faithful as Spooky is. He can hear me moving around in the house. He'll come to the front door and start whining, pawing at the screen door. And he don't want nothing, you know. I'll maybe give him a treat of food or something. He'll nibble on it. He just wants to be there with me. So like I say, you know, we'll plant a few things by seed. I'm going to continue clearing off the property. I'll get the cucumber, beans put in. Just for kicks and giggles, I might throw in a few okra. And, you know, I might do a little bit of cantaloupe. Probably not watermelons. Probably not anything else. Because what I did over the winter months, when I was thinking about what I was going to do this year, I got looking back. It's just what I eat and how much I do eat fresh, before it goes bad. Also, I took a look in the freezer, saw what I had left of the 2020 harvest. And I saw I still had frozen tomatoes, frozen green beans, plenty, frozen okra, plenty, frozen green onions, plenty, frozen peppers, green, bell peppers, I ring them, chop them, freeze them. So that's what made me decide I need to eat all that before I actually plant more. Now that don't mean in the fall. And when I say fall, I'm talking starting plants in mid-August to go in the ground first week or two of September to grow out through the remainder of September, October, November, and December. Doesn't mean I won't start some more plants. You'll just have to be around and see. All depends on what I got done to the house and the property, which are my focuses this year. Getting the house decluttered and all that, or like I say, reclaiming it from the pandemic. Doing some work to it. So, there we have it. Now maybe down in the comments, you'll put what you've been doing gardening wise, or canning wise, or what have you. Now something else I did, since I had to go in and pay for those plants, I wanted to pick up a thing or two. It was on my mind. I wanted to pick up another loaf of bread, because I've been eating a lot of sandwiches for lunch while I'm out here working. I also wanted to check and see if they had any decent green onions and that. So they did, had some really nice ones. So I threw them in the buggy too. And then I went by and looked at the manager's specials in meat. And the ribs were still pricey. I mean, the smallest package I could find, and that which was one slab, a baby back. The other slabs were normal pork ribs that were way too large for one little old man. But that baby back rack was like $12.50. I said, oh no, I love ribs. And normally on Memorial Day, we would do a Boston butt, which I think is rather traditional in the South, and we do some ribs. But it's just me and the kitty crew. So I was looking just for some ribs. And I think I might have a rack in the freezer, but I didn't want to take my chances. So they had something you rarely ever see. It's only ever so often. And you may have seen them too. But hey, why don't I bring you into the kitchen and show them to you? Just in case you spot them, you'll know. Not only are they cheap, but they're jam up tasty. And you prepare them just like ribs. Okay? So hey, come on in. And let me show you that before I say goodbye. Because I still got things to do today. Okay? Spooky, you gonna be okay? Papa'll be out to give you, Sundays, tuna, right? You hear somebody pounding, don't you? Don't you? You Papa's best buddy. Cleo. That ain't Cleo, that's Speedy. Speedy, well, at least you're about 8 feet away. You will let me pet you while I'm feeding you. Cleo, once she gorged herself on treats, she went on back to the neighbor's house. She prefers laying on their porch. I'm not sure why, except this one's carpeted and that one's just bare cement. Sort of makes sense. It's probably cooler, or cooler to her. Even though today, we're only 75. It got down to 54 this morning. It's supposed to be the same tomorrow. It's just simply lovely and a beautiful day to be alive in America. So come on in, let me show you about those rib ends, okay? Spook, I gotta go on in, okay? I'll be back. You know I'll never forget Tuna Sunday, don't you? Or should we change that to Tuna Tuesday or Tuna Thursday, huh? No, y'all must know. It's Tuna Sunday, ain't it? I love you, bud. You know it. Oh, let me get your bag. Those were tasty. They're Dental Crunch cat snacks, Pro Plan. A faithful fan sent them to you. Okay. And they love them. Pick up my notes here. Okay. What we bought. And before we go, we'll show you about those rib end tips. So we got them right here, still in our shopping bag. Took them out of the old fridge. Everything's hard to do with one hand. But here we got. These are pork rib tips. Now, I think you can see that right now. And they're $1.58 a pound. And there's almost 2 pounds here. 1.87 pounds. And what they are, these are pork. See right over here. Appetizing pork. The other white meat, fresh and lean. And these are the ends of the ribs. And if you've ever watched any of the butchering videos from professionals here on YouTube, you'll see they trim up the ribs to what you buy. And these are what come off when they make that section of ribs, that slab that most of us buy. Now you don't see these for sale very often, at least not around here. You know, this is one of those butcher secrets. They'll definitely grab a hold of them. And when they do set them out, they don't ever last long. When I looked at that manager's special section of meats, I looked to my right and I thought I saw something I recognized. And it was these. And they're still ribs. You can see the rib end in there. It's more of that cartilage end instead of the bone end. There's some bone down in there too. But for me, this one little old man and the kitty crew, well, they'll be just perfect. And I'll cook them up just like I cook up my other ribs. And this is going to be our meat for tomorrow, Memorial Day 2021. So, I just thought that was neat since I had them. They're cheap for now. Probably after I make this video on superfood season, that'll be the end of that. You know, just like Chuck Eye. Yeah. You know, all know how that went. Sometimes it's better. Old Mr. Tom keeps his old mouth shut. We could all save more money. So y'all, I still got things to do this afternoon. I want to make up a cucumber, tomato, and onion marinated salad for tomorrow. Because that's traditional. It's nice and cool. Goes great with the ribs. And I might make my world famous, most awesome southern potato salad. Which everybody who's made that on YouTube, just read the comments. I have made a video on it. Have just raved about it. It's creamy, and it's just like great grandma made and grandma made. Which I've ate a lot of potato salad, both commercially prepared and made by a whole bunch of people that use those waxy potatoes, you know, the red ones, which everybody on the internet said you should use, or them Yukon Golds. butter golds, you know, waxy potatoes so they don't all fall apart. Yeah, I just don't agree. I've used them, and when I was eating it, I was thinking, this just ain't what we used to have growing up. It's nowhere near as creamy. But when you use those russets, yeah, some of that potato goodness comes off. And that's what actually makes them creamy. Anyway, if you're going to make some potato salad this weekend, you want to try something new and different, watch that video. I think I put the ingredients below. Sometimes I do, sometimes don't. And I want all of y'all to have a blessed and safe Memorial Day tomorrow. Please remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation and our freedom. So until old Mr. Tom, Spooky, Speedy, and Cleo, which made a guest appearance, and Trixie, who's laying in the floor. Trix, you want to be on camera? Or you just gonna stare at the floor? Huh? Trix. Trixie. Trix. You want to be on camera? Say hi to your fans? You want to? No? You're getting to where you don't want to be on camera much. What's wrong with you? Huh? Why are you being a curmudgeon? Oh well. Just wait. You know, and I'm sure I'll catch old Elrod Magoo on camera too. But stay safe out there. And stay well with your family, friends, and loved ones. May God bless each and every one of you. Until we see you, all of us, on the next video. Goodbye for now. Trix, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? No, you're just not gonna, are you? Okay, little one. You're still my lady, aren't you? Later on.